Hey guys, so I just got the idea to take all of my papers I have scattered throughout my house for high school and put them in a binder. And I thought that it might be helpful to show you kind of what I got in here in case you're starting to get ready to plan for high school. So the first thing I have is a list of books, and it's by Hoffman Mifflin Harcourt. And this is, I think, the books that they offer or suggest or what have you for 6th through 12th grade. And so I printed this out a while ago as kind of a guide for different ideas. And as you can see, it has the Lexile score, and I believe that the E is for explicit material. And so I just have that in the pocket. And then next I have the book list for my current 9th grader. This is something I posted about on Instagram, that you should keep a book list for your children in high school because some colleges will request it. And also, if you have a student that you're looking to get NCAA approval for, this would probably help you out tremendously. Next, we have course descriptions from Acme Academy. If you're in California, you need to have a list of course descriptions, and so this I used to help me. Next, we have the sketch that I did maybe 1 or 2 years ago about laying out different options for high school for this child. And I went through various different iterations, if we're doing all A through G approved, Oak Meadow, whatever, how much stuff would cost if you enrolled in Oak Meadow, because then everything would be A through G. And so I just kept these notes to help me with planning. And then next up, we have a section just for Oak Meadow, which we're using a lot of. This is from a couple years ago. This is all of the curriculum that they used to sell. Some of these things they no longer offer. And then this was from back then, their online courses that they offered, which were for enrolled students. And then next we have the sample schedule from Oak Meadow for their diploma. So like what their students would take. And this was before we started high school, so you could see this is not only out of date, but also not necessarily relevant to us. Next we have, I've showed this in another video, the Oak Meadow World Geography, and so I had printed out part of the sample to keep in mind what that course is about. Next we have a section from Memoria Press, which of course I'm using primarily, or at least substantially, for my older student. So this is the materials that if you order the 9th grade, this is the first page. So you should have all these things in your box. And we didn't follow this, but I did print it out to kind of get a sense of which things were done which year. And this is the 10th grade. And then as you can see, this was shoved in some bag that I had because everything was scattered all over the place. And this is Memoria Press's classical composition sequence. And then this is just one of the little catalogs they sent out last year, and I put this in here because I want to remember to use Anna Karenina when my oldest is a senior, so I just shoved that in there. Next we have BYU Online. This is through the university, but it's an independent study program. So like last year, so I printed out all of the courses that they offer, so that's this first big thing, and it has the price. I don't know if that's the semester price or the year. I guess you could see here AP Biology Part 1 and Part 2, so that's the 2 different semesters. And they do have a lot of AP classes if you're interested in that. And then today I went through and I had printed out some classes. My rising 9th grader is going to be doing a mini MBA program that I'm designing for her, so I printed out all the classes that I think she might be interested in and might be, in accordance with that program. And those are all the ones I found. And then my oldest is going to be taking first year Russian next year through BYU. These are just the syllabi. You can find this online. And then I printed out the leadership one, which she may take. And then, we skipped a header. So the next section, and this is not in alphabetical order, obviously, build your library. So again, I've shared this in another video. This is the 10th grade book list overview. Again, just to keep in mind for myself, like what's covered those years. And as you can see, Emily, I think is her name, she has in each one of the high school programs the list of how to assign the credits, which I think is amazing. Next, Bookshark, and this is just a couple of book lists. Of course, I'm waiting with anticipation for their 2 new high school levels. They're going to announce April 1st, one for world history and one for American history. I cannot wait. So I'll probably add to this section, especially once I get the catalog. Next, we have Moving Beyond the Page. So they have 1 year of high school. I believe it's just language arts, but I am interested in it. So I put that in here. I'm not sure if or when we're going to use it, but I do want to keep that in mind for my planning purposes. And then the last section in this binder is other vendors and resources. So we have National University Virtual High School. This is just a class provider, and their courses, as you can see, they have them listed as UC, which is the A through G requirements, and NCAA and AIA, which are both sports related, if they're approved or not. And so that was how I found this school. Was I was looking, as you can see, I was looking for another approved vendor before we started high school. And then I printed out all of the course descriptions. Actually, I copied and printed all of the course descriptions for UC Scout. I was really hoping this was going to be one of our big vendors. My daughter had been taking AP European History, and it was kind of a disaster. Apparently, the consensus is that it really depends on who your instructor is, and that can go either way, very good or very bad. We did have a very good pre-algebra teacher last year, and I was happy with that, but I don't know if we're going to do UC Scout. It's very expensive. They have a very unfair refund process. You know, you only have 3 days to ascertain if the course is a good fit. So anyway, whatever. They're A through G approved, and it's through the UC system. Then I have some resources from a charter called Visions. This is about college entrance exams. And then this is the Visions A through G course list for planning purposes. And then they have the prep planning worksheet. And then I also have the Honors English 1 and 2 checklists. And so we've been using these for giving honors credit to my current high schooler. And it also gives a really good overview of what types of assignments to do, which I think is great. And Arlene, if you know, I'll link her in the description. She said that they use my perspective. So I'm interested in learning more about that. It's a language arts provider. So that's everything I have in here now. I'll probably be adding to this, especially because I have another rising 9th grader, and my girls are going to be doing different courses of study based on their interests and goals. But that's what I have so far. So I hope that this video was helpful, and thanks for watching.